Okay, so we are back. This is 10B. So hopefully just to make a bit of a shorter video. And then I don't want the next question to show up either here, but okay. So we're going to now take a look at this one, and we're probably going to be using some similar ideas. Okay, so always your first step is going to be to write down whatever you can. Okay, so I can see that this tick here and this tick here means that those two are the same, which makes sense because they're both radii. Okay, and that is 4, has a length of 4. And once again, we are asked to find S and then declare which properties we use. So we're going to be using this S here. So in order to figure out S, we would recognize that S is actually S is a chord. Okay, so I might need to use that idea, but we'll see. We know that this side length here is 3 because we can see that this bisects the chord JH. So I'm just going to write it in. Not sure how it's going to help me yet, but that's just part of the process, is figuring out how to do this. Now, the other piece that I notice, I don't know if it's going to help me, but I'm going to draw it in anyways, is that this line here would also bisect the chord. But I'm not sure that that's going to help me. I need the full side length S. Oh, I see it now. Okay, so what I actually need to pay attention to, so I don't need that line, so I'm going to just get rid of it, but it's always good to maybe draw it in and see what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to, I want to keep this 3 here. Okay, but I'm actually going to be looking at this big triangle here, because then I have my full side length S. In order to use the and I have a 90-degree angle. In order to use the Pythagorean theorem here, I am going to need to know what this length is. Okay, so this length is then part of this smaller triangle. So I'm going to look at that first. So this is the triangle O, what is that, a G? I think so. OGJ. Okay, so that's this triangle here. And I know that this is 3 because of the perpendicular bisector theorem. And I know that this is 4 because it's a radius. So then I can go ahead and use my Pythagorean theorem to help me find this guy. Okay, so I can go, and once again, I have to be careful where my hypotenuse is. So this guy is my hypotenuse. It's across from my 90-degree, and it's the longest side. So I'm going to label this X for now, just to help me keep it organized. So X squared plus 3 squared is equal to 4 squared. So I end up with X squared is equal to 4 squared minus 3 squared. Okay, so that's going to be 16 minus 9, which is 7. Okay, so I know that X squared is equal to 7. So X is equal to the square root of 7. Okay, and I'm going to just leave it like that so that I don't miss any decimals. So I don't want to approximate quite yet. Okay, so I now know that this side here is root 7. Okay, so now I can add that to my full length here. So this guy here is going to be 4 plus the square root of 7, which I'm going to be plugging just into my calculator. All right. So let's maybe just approximate that right now. So let's go 4 plus the square root of 7. As you get up in math, you're going to be just working with the square root of that, but because you don't know how to do that whenever it's addition, we're just going to approximate it. So this is about 6.65. Whoops, that's a 5. Okay, so I know then I can use this big triangle here to find S. So my side length is 6.65 squared. Okay, I'm going to put that in brackets. I have this, so 3 squared is equal to S squared. Okay, that's my hypotenuse. So I'm going to take that and square it, and then add 3 squared to that as well. So I did calculated that in my calculator, and I got 53.17 S squared. And then I'm going to go ahead and square root that because I want to know what S is. Square root, which ends up being 7.29. So I am going to change that to 7.3. Okay, so S is equal to 7.3. Okay, so that ends up being my S. And the things that I used, the theorems that I used for that were the Pythagorean theorem and the perpendicular bisector theorem. Okay, hope that helps. And I will move on to question 18. Okay, bye for now.